Okay.
You're live. Hi, Jeffrey. We're live, it says. I thought I was alive before, but now StreamYard is telling me for real I'm alive.
Huh.
What can I say? Well, when I did everybody know Jeffrey from Shape of Light?
Hello, hello, hello.
And we were talking yesterday, and we were both kind of not phenomenally bored, but kind of bored. And my weather here's been so bad for all my big build up to watching Jupiter and Venus conjunct. I couldn't see it. I finally found a guy who did it from my backyard from Oklahoma that posted a video of them being conjunct. And it was beautiful. And I really wish I could have gotten out there to see it, but every time I went out, it was cloudy. And there was nothing to be seen but clouds. And for Texas this time of year, that is so unusual.
One time I stayed up really, really late when I lived in New York. And I think there was an eclipse like at 5:30 or 6 in the morning or something. It was like just before the sun rises. And I stayed up for like, I don't know, 30 hours or some crazy number. And I had my candle and I'm all ready. And I go to the roof and it just started pouring.
No eclipse.
My candle, I had one of those long columnar, and that filled with water. I was like, you got to be kidding. I stayed up for so long. I was going to do a whole ritual. And it was like, oh boy.
Go in and do your ritual.
Yeah, I think I went downstairs and went to sleep.
Okay, for those of you who are entering the inner sanctum of Jeffrey and Nancy's open mic, we are taking questions from the chat. We have a couple questions already in. I want to give people a chance to get into what we're up to. When I did my survey, one of the things I asked was if people wanted sort of a quick reading of where we are on the garden, and I got people who really wanted to have that done. So here we go.
Okay.
This all look familiar, Jeffrey? Because Jeffrey and I do weeklies on the garden. And
yeah. Without glasses, I can't say whatever.
Okay. When last we were here, all the other stones were up in the water. Everything was moving on, and the mind was back moving forward. Now we have the stones spread out, but I'm going to remind you, the mind said last time that the mind was important in taking over, and the mind is between future and the crown chakra. Okay. And when the mind is in the crown chakra, it means position of the mind in your situation is bringing the change. Mm-hmm. And when it's in future, it said, think of the situation in the future sense. So this is saying, yeah, the changes are here, because we also have the spirit was in water last time, and the spirit in water last time means the spirit now, right now. Transmutation is completed. We are not looking at it that way. We're looking backwards or into other things, but we're not comprehending how much change is happening around us right now. And so then what we have is the earth is in fire, and in fire, that means we're learning from our past, but we need to learn that a lot of stuff we knew from the past, we can let it go, because everything's changed. Our grounding stone is in air, and it means mental actions are now our path to abundance for us to move forward. And our clarity is in presence and air. And in air, it means that we need to be sure our thoughts are clear. And when it's in present, clarity is having a variety of paths. So all of us would love there just to be strewn ahead of us a lovely road of exactly where to go and what to do. That's not happening, but the changes have happened. We need to comprehend them. We're grounded. We have history in our past that can help us be stronger about it. So it's time for us to acknowledge those changes and go forward. And normally I'd say, what do you think about that, Jeffrey? But Jeffrey just goes, it's your garden. You tell me.
No, I think that's Correct. It's like really foreseeing the bright future and living as if it's already there. I mean, that's the way forward. That's the way forward. That's what I think.
Okay, I'm going to start answering the questions.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. Question time. Here we are.
Post. That's why we're here.
I'm all.
Good morning, Christy Storm. She said good morning to us, but that's not a question. Well, it could be a question depending on where you are. Excuse me. I was wondering if I should focus on strengthening my intuitive gifts or work with the book I started to bring success and to be of service. Thank you. The second I read your question, Nivra, I didn't have to lay a card. I was watching I think I was watching a special on Secrets of Stonehenge. But when you write your book, you are strengthening your intuitive gifts. Do you not feel that's true, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like, well, should I choose A or should I choose B? Choose both. You go to a restaurant and your friend says, "Oh, I want to share a dessert." It's like, well, that's nice. Who are you going to share it with? It's like, should we have cheesecake or should we have the chocolate? Let's just get both.
Right. Let's splurge. Honest to God, Nivra, I'm going to pull you one tarot card.
Because they're not exclusive from one another.
No. It says, quit resting. Quit using one or the other as an excuse to hide from working on both.
There you go.
So.
That was a direct answer.
Well, the universe told you, girl.
That was a direct answer. We love a direct answer.
I mean, let me see. Okay. Show. Will my son ever find true love? Oh, we're back. It used to be always, will I find true love? Now we're worried about our kids. Really? Not being flippant.
I'm going to do past, present, future. I'm going to do 3.
Okay, that's fine.
He has to be willing to take a chance. But this is what I got in this order. I know it doesn't seem right, but he's the magician. He has everything he needs. And this is the present, and it's the Fool. The president is, but this is the present and the Fool.
It's also the president, but we won't go into that. He takes
a chance. He does something he hasn't done before. He's like, yeah, I'm going to try something new. So if he takes a chance, then he can build something. But if he sits there like this and he's like, no, this one, that's not good, and that's not good. Like, take a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's the answer. That's what I get.
Okay, Kathy. I see he's the King of Cups. He's upright. He wears his heart in his sleeve, which is okay. Yeah, he's had some really tragic choices in trying to come to terms with love, because he thinks when he looks at the person he's looking at, he thinks he's looking in a mirror, and he thinks they're as open and available as he is. But that's the past. That's what he's done in the past. The present is, da-da, 9 of Cups. What does he want?
Wow.
What does he want? You may want to see him happy and settled. Maybe he doesn't want to be happy and settled. And in actual fact, that's not an objective in his life right now. No matter how much he says it to you when he's talking to you, our kids lie to us when they grow. Even grown-up kids lie to us. I mean, they tell us what we want to hear. But I see what's happening is he's doing some really important shadow work in his life. He's walking away from a lot of stuff that he's come to appreciate hurts him. And he's getting ready to move on. So he's going to get what he wants. The fact he's the King of Cups and he has the 9 of Cups in this reading, he's a powerful little being and he can find his own way. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, the Magician was the first card for me, and the Magician.
Yeah, he's got it.
Whatever he wants.
My car is smelling weird while driving. It's my first Toyota. What is wrong? If you can help determine. Okay, let's see. I'm going to see, first of all, Elizabeth.
Is it a new car?
It's a new car.
New car
and sometimes they have wiring. Yeah, they get wiring smells from the wires heated. You're asking the one person who's never had a driver's license never driven a car. Jeffrey, you didn't need to. You'd be the best person to know if it's a yes, no, because you don't have any preconceived notions. Okay, what I got is an almost perfect no. This is no, there's nothing wrong with the car. No, you've had problems with cars that showed up later and you wondered if you'd looked at them earlier, could you have fixed them? No, you can go to a mechanic and have them check it out. That's going to cost you a little money, but it'll make you feel more secure. And then you can quit worrying about it.
Yeah, I mean, I pulled the sun and like, there's nothing wrong with the car.
There's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong with your Toyota.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with the car.
I own Toyotas. I owned a lot of Toyotas, and I love them. But one thing they did do is they wrapped the wires in a plastic that critters that like to eat plastic eat. Yeah, never likes our answers. Good. It sounds like having chocolate and cheesecake. Yes.
With some fruit sauce, just in case.
Yes.
A little whipped cream, you know.
And right now, our fears are in an easy place to not succeed.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
If you allow fear, fear is face everything and recover, or F everything and run. And there ain't no track shoes that are going to outrun fear. You have to face it. It's the only way you can. And the world is feeding us a world of fear. And I will find out 3 days after something's happened, something that years ago would have made me crazy for at least 15 minutes if I'd listened to it in the news. And I just don't listen to that much news, guys. I watch a lot of history.
Me too. So yesterday they started the World Cup here. And
yes, they did. And Jeffrey
I was at the Mercado, which is like the market. They sell food and they have little restaurants and this and that. You buy all the stuff he has. And, I usually have like a nice little quiet lunch. Well, anyway, it had just started and they had the noisemaker. It was crazy. And then I went and sat on the roof and it was really tranquil because everybody was at the game or watching the game. I didn't even hear any traffic, which I usually hear like a hum, everybody hum, nothing. And then all of a sudden I hear, and I was like, oh, I guess Mexico scored a goal. The whole city.
Last night we were having trouble with our internet. And I asked, so I unplugged from the source and plugged it back in, but it kept getting slow. Things were getting blocked off Prime. And what it was FIFA. So many people were coming in to watch the football thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they should put it on its own little chamber so we don't have to be worried with it. Anyway, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, nameless, unreasoning, unjustified terror, which paralyzes needed efforts to convert retreat into advance. That's very good. Thank you.
Oh, I have a little announcement. I have started writing booklets.
Mm-hmm.
They're available on Amazon. As some of you know, I wrote 2 books already. One of them is called Tarot Decoded, and it's a really short little book. It's about the tarot cards. But, it's a very minimal, I give you a couple of words for every card. It's like a little glossary in a way. But now I've gone in and I've started writing pamphlets. My plan is to write a pamphlet on every single card. So I've begun. I started with the Fool as it's the first card, and I got all the way through Judgment. I can only put up 10 a week. So I put them up on Amazon. So if you're, if there's like, especially one of the major cards that you're like, I really don't really understand that card, or I want a different perspective, you can go purchase them on Amazon. Like, let's say the Emperor, because that's one of the first, 22 cards. So what you do is if you go to Tarot Decoded, and then you put in the name, I'm just putting in the Emperor just for and you go to Amazon, you can purchase it, and it's digital. They're $3 each.
They're what, hon?
$3 each.
Okay.
I put it in.
$3 American.
$3 American, yes. 3 pesos is, I don't even know what 3 pesos is. 3 pesos is like less than 15 cents. So I'm really excited, and I've gotten through Judgment, and Wednesday is the day I upload. So by Wednesday this week, I'll have The World, etc. I'm not sure where I'm going to go after the majors, but I'm very excited. So
very good. And hello, Dr. Gale. And I want to put Dr. Gale's thing up. Dr. Gale and Terry did a really good show yesterday on Ascension.
On what?
On Ascension.
Oh, nice.
On stages of Ascension and going through Ascension. And, you know, we're never all ascending at the same time. I remember the first time someone talked to me about Ascension, I said, okay. And it was a friend of mine in metaphysical. It was in Denver. And I said, you're telling me we're all going to get in an elevator and we're all going to go up these floors. But anyway, she did a real good discussion with Terry on Ascension symptoms. And Dr. Gale and I had some of the same Ascension symptoms at the same time during COVID, when it was scary because all of a sudden you'd stand up and you'd fall down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad I was doing it back then 5 years ago, not now, because I have a much harder time I don't get up now. They get the kids to come get me up, but and I don't fall down. So that's two parts of it. But there are things, and there's vertigo, and there's some other things. And
yeah, I've been having some. I get a little of that. I sort of fall to the side. I mean, I'm still standing, but I'm sort of falling to the side, and my sleep is weirder than weird.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping a lot, or I'm not sleeping at all, or I go to sleep super early, I go to sleep super late. There's no like. Last night I was asleep like at 9 o'clock at night.
See, I'm sleeping. I know I can't even, no matter what I do during the day, no matter how much I try to tax my brain, I can't get my head to go to sleep before 1 o'clock at night, in the morning, 1 a.m. And so then you tend to sleep in, and so that becomes a growing circle because you sleep in and then you did. So see, readers have problems too, folks. We have, just like you, but apparently no one that's watching us has any problems because nobody's writing us any questions.
I know. Write us a question, kids. Don't you want to know something? Don't you want to know something? Or
one thing Jeffrey and I have coming up is Nath from the Third Wish. He and I had been talking, and he created a deck, and I'll show it to you because it's sitting right here because I'm studying it, getting ready. And you and I got to talking after he sent me his book, which is The Secret Magical Tarot of the Saints. And it's a very Christian deck. It's really lovely. It's beautifully put together. It's beautifully printed. I don't know who he had printed, but like this is a 4 of coins.
oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. They're all very medieval. And of course, all the saints are on the major arcana. And the one that I told him, I said, are you just that evil or what? And he said, well, what would you use? And the Wheel of Fortune is St. Catherine. And for those of you who don't know her myth, she was crucified in Alexandria during the Roman times on a wheel in Alexandria. Okay. And then, we got a question, Jeffrey. Yay! I would like to know where this chapter of my life is leading me. Okay. I'm going to do 5 cards and see if I can see a pattern. you got, Jeffrey?
A lot. I got a lot.
Okay.
There was something that was once really important to you that you're leaving. I'll show you what I got. Because otherwise, it's like, what's he talking about? Wait. Where does he get this information? From the cards, darling, from the cards. Can you see everything? Yeah. So look, I mean, you know how to take action and you know the right timing, but there's like a passion that you've walked away from. You've completely walked away. You feel like you've completely learned your lesson, and you're going toward something that's more fulfilling to you emotionally. Like this was really fulfilling to me. I used to do it. I don't really want to do it anymore. And now I'm moving into something new, and I really incorporated the lessons of the past of the emotional path. I've really incorporated them because I have judgment. Judgment's an incredible card. So you're on to a new thing, but I think that what I'm supposed to tell you is time to walk away.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what I'm supposed to tell you. Okay.
Yeah. I see you have been the Queen of Wands. You've been the leader. You've been the innovator. You've been the one in trouble. And you've had other options, other times when you could have gotten out of whatever this deal is, and you didn't take them when the easy would have been easier. So now it's very, very depressing for you to even face and deal with all this stuff. But your out cards, your future cards are great. You got the Star, which means you've got a whole new set of goals coming in, telling you what to do. And you're at the 10 of Wands reversed, which is 10s always mean endings, and the 10 of Wands in particular means really letting go. And when you see him, he's burying it. It's done. So I think you are so close to letting something go. And you are seeing this as a chapter of your life, and it's going to be like when you close it, it's going to be closed candy, and it's going to be done. And you have a lot of good things coming after that.
Yeah. And, also the last card that I got was Judgment. Judgment's a really profound card. In a lot of ways, Judgment really is the last card. The world is just telling you to move on to the next. Judgment, really, this energy, I've incorporated all the lessons that I've learned on the Fool's Journey. And now I'm able to be awakened and reborn because I've incorporated them totally into my body. It's a really powerful card. It's really a card of almost like a job well done in a way, because the world comes right afterwards, and the world is the completion, and the world is basically saying, okay, you did that task. What's the next task? You did a good job. Next. But the Judgment, has this pause and saying, oh, I've come to my spiritual understanding. So I think you're in a good position. I think you're in a really good position.
Okay. And Adriana Nebula, I haven't seen you for a while. Will this sinus infection finally be resolved and not come back for years and years and years?
Did you have an operation?
I'm asking if they've resolved what your sinus infection is.
Looks good.
Yeah, it's passed. What do you got, Jeffrey?
Yeah, great cards.
Okay.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It takes control. You did something new, and you have happiness and fulfillment at the end. Great.
Okay. My history of it was you struggled with a lot of really bad doctors who couldn't figure out what was going on to get you to your goal. But this card means it's ended. But you are still so trapped. Every time you sniffle, you think, oh my God, it's coming back. But no, you're with the right people. They're healing you the right way. You just need to decide it's what you really want. You just have to trust that it's gone. And I know when you've had a chronic condition, that's really hard. But Jeffrey, you just had a friend who got cured of what?
cirrhosis.
And it was not just because he drank
Cirrhosis.
too much. He drank too much as an adult.
No, he had something when he was young. He had
Gestational
pork,
yeah.
and it scarred his liver, and etc. But they're doing an experimental treatment, and he's on this drug that's like $40,000 or something, and he was cured of cirrhosis.
Okay, another typical family problem. Will I receive my fair share from my two sisters from my deceased father's estate? I take it one of them is the executor. So.
I get this weird balancing thing of the money, but then I get the Chariot. The Chariot is really a card of action. The Chariot is like, I see an opportunity and I'm going to grab it. So if you feel that there's something you need to do with a lawyer or to make a call or to do something, then you need to get on it. If you feel something that you need to get on, then get on it. This is like a real call to action out of any card, really. And you have to follow your intuition. Get quiet, follow your intuition, and then you'll receive it. But if there's an action to be taken, it's very important that you take the action. This one is not like, oh, I'm thinking about taking action. Perhaps he gets in the Chariot and he goes.
Okay. We're reading along the same lines. I see that, this is the ending and it was all over. And there's a lot of bedevilment, a lot of materialism going on.
Yeah.
Whichever of your sisters had the darker hair, I think she's the one that's in charge of this. She's not fulfilling what was your dad's wishes, and she's not being balanced. But when I was laying out the cards, one of my good friends was a probate judge named Mike, Judge Mike. And he used to come in. I used to send people to him all the time because he was a probate judge. And he used to tell people what they needed to do. And he told me, you need to find a lawyer who deals with wills. Most lawyers will spend a free hour or so with you to discuss what a case might be. Go in and talk to them, tell them what you think you're seeing, and they'll tell you the best way to proceed. Now, I don't know what state you're in Texas. A lot of states go through probate court. That's a good place to stop a lot of the shenanigans. Other states do it differently. But even if you call in someone to verify the dollar amounts she's giving you, all three of you, if there's you two sisters and you, all three of you pay for that audit. That is in almost every state. But what I'd do first, hon, is I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't sit at home thinking, oh, they're going to steal from me, because that's the fastest way to have someone steal from you. Let's manifest it in. Go to a lawyer, find out what your rights are, say Cindy, and or find a legal agency that will sit and tell you. But that's not fair. And no, you're right. And some of it comes from when someone's left as executor of the will, they get to deduct all their expenses for taking on that role, like a business, like a job. And that's where a lot of people cheat, but I don't know. And let's see. We already answered one. Say, Cindy, I'll come back to you, girl. Because we already answered one question. What will the next 6 months bring for me? And Candy Mullins just got chills when we gave her answer. Good. Let's see if we can keep people getting chills for the rest of it. Elizabeth, the one that had the car, go take it to a mechanic, have them look at it, but I don't think there's... And she does live... Are there any rats in Hawaii? Because rats are what really eat everybody's
Oh,
wiring.
they're everywhere. The only place they're not is Antarctica.
No, I think they're not in Hawaii.
Really?
They got lots of other stuff though. Not like us.
Oh,
Okay, what do you got? Well, my next how months? Next 6 months.
I threw 6 cards because it's 6.
I'm going to throw 6.
Okay. I don't know what sign you are, Eleanor, but I've got a lot of swords, a lot of thinking, a lot of mental action. I'm going to show you. Oh, it's like I keep on pressing buttons this way. Okay. I started here. So initially there's this element of like, I'm keeping my stuff to myself. No one's business. My business is my business. My business is my business. I'm going to watch my finances, all that. And then I get both the king and the queen of swords. And both the king and the queen, what they really have in common is that they're really, really clear thinkers. Really, really clear thinkers. They don't let emotion get in the way. They don't let other people. They're both of them are very clear and very direct and very. They dot their I's and they cross their T's. They're very formidable and exact, especially in their way of thinking. I have both of them. And then I have the death card, which is really one of the most powerful cards in the deck. It's really about, I don't recognize the way I used to think. This is what I think is going on. I think what's happening is the way your whole mental way of thinking and looking at things, your perspective, is about to completely and utterly change. Because I have.
He's an Aquarius. If anything, you're seeing.
Look at this. And then the death of the old idea. So you're about to be transformed in a way, and your way of thinking, and the way your perspective and your outlook, in a way that's going to be completely and utterly new to you. It's actually very exciting. It's very exciting. Big. It's big.
Okay. What I got is something you've worked towards. You're unburdening yourself. You're getting rid of some burden you've been carrying. And that's this month. Next month, you're going to think about which way to go next. And then, ta-da! So this is June, July, August. You're going to get your big flash. You're going to get your new goals, what you need to do. And then you're going to, on September, you're going to think about it and decide, is that really, really, really what I want to do? And then in October, you're going to, when the 4 of Cups is reversed, it means you've been given a lot of information. You're going to finally take action. The November's, that's great. June, July, August, September, October. Okay, October is when you're going to really come to start to formulate how to get ahead with it. And look what you get in November, whatever you want.
Beautiful.
But you've got to plot it forward. So this month is getting rid of all the stuff that might be getting in your way. Next month is thinking about it. August is you're going to find a new set of goals. And that's Lionsgate time. That's 8/8 Lionsgate. So that's a great time to be finding new goals. Then you're going to think about your goals and make the plans you need to, not rush right out in there into it. And then October, you're going to start to take action. Things are going to fall in line. Stuff you thought about happening is going to start happening. So you're going to be able to move forward with it. And then November. Yay! Yay, Eleanor.
Yeah, but old ways of thinking are not going to work anymore. It's got to be a whole new vision. New vision.
And she knows that. That's why she's been thinking about this.
Yeah, I mean, and to get the ace and the king and the queen and the 10. Wow.
Candy Mullins thanks us, and then she thanks us even more, Jeffrey. She sent us a super sticker.
Thank you, Candy.
Cindy Mullen. Okay.
Oh, it's Candy, isn't it?
I think it's. No, it is Candy Mullen, and then it turns into. It's the same person. It's Candy Mullen.
Okay.
It's 10. Anyway, thank you, Candy, for supporting us. We We love to do this. We love to hear our own sound of our own voice. We like to talk to each other. We love to meet with you.
I get to put on a cute outfit instead of like a crappy T-shirt to wear around the house.
Yeah, and Jeffrey quits slouching around. Let's see what we got started. Okay, okay. And and Say Cindy, who we answered a question for, she took our Tarot class 2 years ago. Great starter class, made wonderful lifelong friendships from attending.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's what we try to do. We try to get everybody all connected. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of the reason I started writing those books, because when we teach the class, sometimes I tell about one card and I'm like, God, I wish I had another 10 minutes on that one card. I wish I had another 10 minutes on that other card, but we never get through it.
Mm-hmm.
So this way I got to sit down and really do it,
Mm-hmm.
And it was really interesting because I discovered some things that like I forget about or that I don't really use much. And the way I wrote it also, it's really like, these are some ideas about it, but there's questions that I ask. It's like, well, what do you think about the card? What do you feel about the card? What do you feel about this symbol? Because that's really what tarot is about. It's, I have a specific, feeling about a card, and you called me because that card's going to come up and I'm supposed to tell you, or you called Nancy, or you called reader number 3. It's like, it all works like that, We all have our own little, I don't know, recipe, let's say.
Mm-hmm. Do you see me in a professional dance partnership in the Standard Ballroom in 2026?
Patricia, I was watching some dancing a day or two ago on YouTube, like a dancer thing, and I was like, boy, I haven't seen or heard from Patricia. No, I have been on, so. Okay, so I thought of you.
Mm-hmm. Well, kind of got to read the cards you got. What do you got, Jeffrey?
You know what I got this feeling that you had a partner, but it's not a partnership anymore, and that's who this is. The King of Cups, who's a really nice guy, and right now you're sort of like you're trying to, you're being very close, which is fine. It's you're taking stock because he's very practical. And you're going to be looking, and that's what I get. I get this. I'm looking. That's what I get. I don't get
what I got was you had the world. You thought you had it cut. This one fell out of the deck while I was shuffling.
There you go.
So you had the world, and now you just don't know which way to go.
Yeah.
Because things have changed.
Yeah.
You need to make your mind up about it to get there.
Yeah.
You need to put a lot of your prejudices and things you thought you needed behind you to get ahead. But in the end, I don't think you're going to be able to pull it together by the Ballroom Champions of 2026. Go out there and prove us wrong.
Well, I also, there's also a value sometimes in stopping and pausing and looking and deciding, and with both of these together. That right?
Yeah, but what I said, what's the long-term future with you in Ballroom? And you got the sun.
Oh no, the long term. I pulled the 10 of Cups, but I put it back. But I can't show you. But yeah,
long term is going to be fine. Your short term has been stymied by something, but it's to teach you about what you need to look forward in your long term. And girl, I know so little about ballroom dancing. When I used to be in musicals in high school, they used to have the routines where everybody was doing the same things across the stage. And then there was me in the other corner doing my own thing because I could never stay with everybody. So
I got something else, Patricia.
Okay.
There might be this desire to go backwards, to say, I'm going to go. No. There's a desire to like maybe go back to an old partner or something. No, the lesson's been learned. The karma is done. Don't go back. You got to move forward and rebalance and find something new.
Mhm.
I'm really getting that.
Okay. We got to. This is not a political question. This is a question. Will there be a financial crash within 3 months?
Where?
Well, that could be anywhere. Maybe the cards will tell us the where. I don't see it. I think every reading, if you follow Jeffrey and I in our weekly readings, they've just gotten stronger and stronger, that things were getting on the whole better. And they are getting on the whole better if you really look at what's happening out there. But the pattern is overall good. When they have a head of a federal court bench of attorneys that can't even get approved because he doesn't have his stuff together. I mean, it's nuts. Will there be no? Boy, am I getting no. Okay. I got no. This is a no. Upside down. No, not going to happen. No, people are waking up to stop it from happening. They're getting together to stop it from happening. And then you got another no. So that's 5 no's out of 6 points.
Yeah, no, I get, I mean, I did get, the financial card, but I got like a lot of people showing up to like take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people showing up to take care of it. The emperor, and this one, this one takes responsibility. This does it with heart. This is a new energy. So it might look like it, but action will be taken.
Susan, I'm not going to answer your second question because it's about the president, and we don't do president. I do President Trump questions on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. If you're a member of my channel, you will get a notice about it. I read with
Scott.
Just blanked on his name.
Scott,
thank you. God, Scott, I'm so sorry.
Good thing I'm paying attention.
I know. Well, I keep saying Jeffrey when I mean Scott and Scott when I mean, but Scott, who's in Wisconsin. And I hope that if you want to look at us there, I say all the things, but I base my stuff on the cards because I don't watch the news anymore. I tell them what I ask my phone to do is to filter the news. And I didn't type in a little thing in the phone. I just asked the universe to have it filter the news to me that I need to see. And all I see is their little world falling apart around them. And by the way, for those of you who have been part of my channel for a while, this Sunday will be the anniversary of the day I decided to stay or go. I decided to stay, and I'm so glad I did.
That long?
Yes.
Wow.
I know time's moving in ways we can't even fathom. One of the pictures, I have a thing that goes through my pictures and it flips up pictures and says something you took a picture of today. And 2 years ago is when the energy line to my ley line tree to Hogarth widened. And I said, well, I don't know where the boundary is. I know where the boundary is. He said, go look on the ground. And it was very dry. It was not like this spring at all. It was a very dry spring. So the ground was already cracked. And up through the ground grew this most incredibly electric blue flower. And I asked Hogarth, is that where the ley line is? And he said, yes, that's where the edge of it is, was the flower. I took pictures of that flower every day for 10 days. And then it went away. It never got bigger. It never got smaller. It was sitting in this, it looks like it was growing up out of the most desecrated piece of ground. And I kind of almost forgotten about the flower. And then I realized one of the things Hogarth and I were discussing at the time was he told me everything would move so much faster that he said it will be difficult for you because you were born to a time of a different clock. Mm-hmm. And it is. Now my grandchildren, they're used to this.
Mhm.
I'm not. So I have to kind of slow it down. Anyway, we got a question, Jeffrey. Any messages for me?
Well, I love the rose that you have in your picture.
Yeah, my mom used to grow roses
I haven't had luck.
because my mom had a backyard. It was in the Midwest. It was a relatively, well, the house was built in the Edwardian era. It was built in 1910. But we had a kind of typical looking backyard as far as backyards go, with the swing set in the middle because it was a 1950s family with 4 kids they had to put somewhere. But I thought everybody lived in a house. I thought everybody had people get out of their cars and walk around through the rose garden in the backyard. I didn't know until I went to see. There's a beautiful rose garden in Fort Worth. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous place to go see. That looked like my mother's backyard, and that's what people used to. I thought everybody grew up with in a house where people got out and looked at the flowers. So, what message do you have for Angeli?
I don't know.
Hmm. Oh, well, I've got a lot of interesting messages for you, girl.
Okay, you go. You go. I'm
Start
confused.
with the tower. You're going through so much changes right now. You're saying, where is all this going to be around me? And it's really, I think you needed to hear my story about how time's moving so fast. It's making us feel like we're on a boat ride we can't even control. But at this core of it, you have the strength to go through whatever is happening. And, just you have the strength. Now, there is some unhappiness around your family, but you're the strong one, and you're not the one that's lured into fear and hate. So that's my message to you is, if you can go online and Google strength, the strength card. It's always a lady and a lion usually. And if you can find one, or if you can get one printed or put it on your phone, but get a hold of that image, because you're going to need to look at that image a little bit right now. That's why you found us today. What'd you get, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I got there's an opportunity for you to break free of your own mental bondage of things that you think you need, but in fact you don't need.
Yeah.
There's a real opportunity here, and then to really be in the garden of yourself, like be in the garden. She is in her own garden. She invites in who she wants to. She built this herself. She's very discerning. You need to be more discerning. That's the little message. There's
Mm-hmm.
discerning. Maybe you're allowing other people to get into your thoughts and cloud it. And I think you're going to be able to see it and realize it and be more discerning so that you can end this cycle.
Yeah. I think she's in the middle of ending the cycle right now, and it's hard. Change is hard.
No kidding.
Tell Jeffrey
No kidding.
And Jeffrey, what happens to you if you don't change when you know you ought to change?
You die.
No, you end up hanging from your. You end up hanging.
Do you pay double?
Yeah, you pay. You end
You
up
pay
hanging
double. Yeah.
What is that thing that gets you out? Fire escape. You end up hanging on the fire escape in your underwear in the winter.
Yeah. Well.
And Jeffrey can tell you all about it. And he has me to remind him in case he doesn't want to remember. Anyway, this is good news. Judge denied Trump's administration request to stay the decision. You can watch this live right now. It's happening on YouTube. MS Now has cameras set up, and you're watching them take all of the Trump paraphernalia out of the Kennedy Center. For those of us who do have that little bit of irritating, I like to get them every once in a while left in our souls. That was one thing. The one thing that happened when I came back was I was told I could no longer be angry. I said, what's the big change? I mean, other than, I said, when do I get to breathe? Because at that point I was still on a supplemental oxygen. And it said, you're letting go of so much and you can't be angry anymore. And the other thing was, I said, well, how will I know that I'm really changing? Because, and they said parts of your body will be like they've never been before. Now, this is really going to sound trivial, but you see those 10 fingernails, all of them the right length and polished, and not polished because I hate polish, but filed to the right length and nice looking. I have never in my adult life, except for the last month, had all 10 of my nails the right length at the right time, unless it was done with that stuff they put on. So I'm telling you, I see it, and just when I start to think, is that really true? I see it. So we got another question, Jeffrey. Sharice Martin wants to know, do you see a job change for me in the next year? Thank you. I see a lot of us changing jobs. Yes. And you're going to get more money, and what you're trained in is going to be recognized there. I think you have a nasty woman boss that you want to get rid of. You want to go to work in a place that's not divisive, where people agree to get along. The job you're going to be offered is not going to be the job of your dreams, the one you always thought you should have. And when you move jobs, you're going to be kind of like, well, was I too hard on the old job? Should I have been easier? But it's not. It's leading you to a new place to be. But because it's the moon, if you look at that card closely, there's a trail you can see between his legs. Mm-hmm. There's a trail, mm-hmm. And it's not as brightly lit as in the sun and other things, mm-hmm. But it's a new trail that's coming out of that darkness for you. But it's going to be more money, and you're going to get rid of your crab ass boss.
Patience, 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 patience is the answer, because I have 3 queens.
Did you get the one I got? Do you get the queen?
I have 3 queens. So queens are all about, I know it's coming. Like I put it in the oven, it'll be ready when it's ready. Whenever it's ready, it'll be ready. They're not, they're like, I put it out, it's coming, it's good. And I get that there's something you've been working on, maybe subconsciously. There's something that you really want to do. And initially, when we first started going the cards, I was like February. I was getting February, mm-hmm. And I got harmony. So yes, I think so. I think so.
I got the lovers too. So.
Oh, nice. So, but I think it's really about being patient. And interestingly, for me, the queen that's missing is the one that acts. Mm-hmm. The one that's missing is the one that acts. So it's really about like, no, it's going to be. I've been working on it subconsciously. The harmony is coming. Just be patient. I know. Okay. What we want to hear. I want it yesterday.
The other thing I saw about with you getting the 3 queens, I think that Sharice is looking at her own ideals of being feminine and being a female and being in the workplace, and she's deciding which role she wants to take. That may be why you need the patience. Mm-hmm. Because we're really a mix of all of them.
Yeah. And interesting, there was the 3 of Pentacles that came up. Mm-hmm. Right? Very interesting. There was the 3 of Pentacles. The 3 of Pentacles builds things, but sometimes the 3 of Pentacles, because it's in the dark, it's like subconsciously being built. Yeah. Like, I'm not even aware of it yet. Mm-hmm. It's going around in my dream world or in the dark in my head.
Jeffrey has an excellent, if you know how to read cards, Sharice, Jeffrey has an excellent book, which I should have here at my fingertips, and I don't, but it's, what's your book on Tarot?
Tarot Decoded. But now I'm splitting it up and I'm making it into 78 little booklets, because I find that, when you, like, when we're teaching, there's always, whoever the student, there's always a card or two. It's like, I really just don't understand that, or I need to get a better handle on that card. So that's why I did that.
Okay. All right. So can you get a message for me, Rhonda?
Sure, Rhonda.
In the whole universe, I'm sure there's one message that Rhonda's going to get. Sometimes those are more fun reading broad-based questions because you don't have a
preconceived notion.
preconceived notion. Okay. Rhonda. Yeah, I've got a message for you, Rhonda. A younger person than you is going to come to you with an idea. You're going to be thinking about it. It means working with a lot of other people. They're going to try to get it started this summer. That's not going to happen. Mostly because a lot of the people working around the project don't have the strength. And there's a dark-haired older man who's going to push it down. But I think ultimately it's something you do want to do, and you will find a way to get there. But that's your message right now, is if you're working on a project, work on it, build its foundation, but there's some pieces still missing. So go looking for the missing pieces.
Yeah, I get also working on something. I start with the Wheel of Fortune, which is great. And then I get, you've planted seeds, you've done what you needed to do. You're waiting for it to grow. You're willing to work, and you have a plan, and it's really solid, and it's really practical, and you're moving forward with it, and it's in the physical world, and it's going to come to fruition. It's going to come to fruition. Absolutely.
Okay.
Also, Pentacles are different than the other suits. Pentacles are the physical world,
They're here. They're here.
Pentacles is the reality. Thoughts, swords, thoughts, they can change. Emotions can change. Your passion can change. This is like, it's coming. It's coming. Yeah.
I've been
researching
the purchase of a mobile home in Oceanside, California to retire in. Is this in her future? Retirement home in Oceanside. And I've got 3 more things starred, and then I can't take any more questions after that. So I'm going to end with a lady named Marianne. Okay. Purchase of a home in Oceanside.
I get this is really good. This is really good. It's inevitable. This is inevitability.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have, you and your little garden being happy. But I also get, don't limit yourself to ocean. Don't limit yourself. There might be other reasons.
Your microphone's going in and out, Jeffrey.
Oh, well, I don't know what you do.
I don't know. I'm just letting people know you're not going deaf. Jeffrey's microphone is really going out.
Don't be limited to Oceanside.
That's
another opportunity.
That's what my card said.
Yeah.
It's like it's a childhood fantasy to live by the ocean, but it shouldn't be because it's too costly.
Yeah.
And then and if you move there, the cost of living is going to start eating you up, and you're not going to meet the people you like. And I said, so what I put on was, what is a good move for her? You have an option to move somewhere closer to family or people who feel like family. And that's a better spiritual choice for you because they're there to support you and help you. Maybe.
Yeah, supported, because that's the last card I got. Go where you're supported. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because here's the choice at the ocean, right?
Yeah, I know.
The choice at the ocean. I mean,
Okay. We got a Christy Storms question. Yay. Should I adjust the rates for my business? I'm hearing yes, Christy, but I'm going to put the cards down and show you. When? When should I adjust the rates for my business?
Got it.
I'll see if I can get you a season card, girl.
I know, I'm trying to do the same thing. Great.
I got the cards lay out that it's a yes and a no, and you have 2 5s. So I would say in 5 months or 5 weeks, depending on when you need to schedule your business payments.
All right, because I have a 7. And I have a 5. I think 5 to 7 weeks.
Okay, that's
5 to 7 weeks. That's what I got.
okay. I had 2 5s, so take
Yeah.
the 5 and
Yeah,
you could do it in 5 days, Christy. You run the place.
Yeah.
Okay. And Marianne Pine. My son has a second interview at a local manufacturing company as a security guard. Will he get the job? Will he be happy? 2 different questions. We're going to ask if he gets the job.
You
He
read
has to make himself happy.
You read my Nancy. All right. Local manufacturer. Will he get the job?
Yeah, that's what we're going to ask.
Will he get
Then
the job?
it's up to him to make himself happy.
Exactly.
Yes. And it's good for him because the last job was a disaster and he wasn't treated fairly. And that's kind of made him a little belligerent about not being happy about things. But I tell you, girl, you've got 2 5s in here, and 5s are always change. He's got a change of attitude. Now it's all up to him how good this job turns out. But yeah, he's going to get the offer.
There's something else.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to just do his job, not tell them how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to just do his job. But I got the King of Pentacles.
Okay.
He needs to not tell them how to do their job. That's part of it.
Okay. He's a great kid, but he needs to do the job that he's asked to do.
Yeah, and it's hard for some of us. I'm the same way. I get into a place and it's like, oh, I could run this better, and then I have my big mouth and I'm trying to help, but nobody wants it. They want to do things they want to. I'm being paid. Let me get my money and get the hell out of here. Save my energy for my own thing.
Anyway, that's an hour, guys. I'm still doing. You can contact me at Crystal Directions Show. Crystal Directions, Nancy Jean Gmail. You can contact me about readings. To order readings, it's www.crystaldirections.com. Go to shop. And I'm doing 6-month readings right now. The long 6, not the quickies that we do here, but the longer ones we go into. And of all the readings I do, quite honestly, the 6-month and the 12-month readings are the ones that I get the most positive feedback on. I do video those so you can see them. I'm also thinking about expanding my readings to video readings you can order, because for some people time is a problem. And if they send me their questions, I can answer them like I am for you here. I don't like doing, it's not my preferred way of doing questions, but I will do it that way. And if anybody wants to buy me a cup of coffee at crystaldirections.com, I send you a little mini oracle reading. It's 30 seconds, thank you, and a reading. So anyway, goodbye to everybody.
Bye.
And I got to end the stream, don't I?
Yes.
I keep thinking if I say that, it'll just go away.